Yeah, so I'm back again. Uh, I was watching his shadow work garbage even more. So it's impossible for me to cover 8 hour, 54 minutes garbage that he's going to spew. And you don't have to listen to this 8 hour garbage, 9 hour garbage to point out things that are wrong with this person. Okay. So in the last video, uh, I covered a few part of his garbage where he started from everything is nothing is new under the sun. So you have to question this person because there is a thing with narcissist psychopaths. Narcissism psychopathy is not just one label that usually people put on somebody else. It's a whole pattern of things. So a narcissist, a psychopath, uh, is a Machiavellian. Machiavellian means he manipulates people. Okay, gaslighting is there, manipulation is there, humiliation of other people. There are all sorts of things. There are all sorts of tricks these people play. Then they do really hard work to be a narcissist. Okay, you have to identify these elements in a person to understand their personality. This is not a medical diagnosis. This is analysis. So if something is happening, I cannot close my eyes. If I see a narcissist doing his narcissistic things, I cannot gaslight myself that this is not a narcissist. What I cannot do is I cannot medically diagnose somebody with narcissism. I can speculate, it's not even speculation, okay? Analyze whether this is what going on or not. Especially when I have understanding on psychology and all stuff. I've spent good amount of time in educating myself with all these things. Okay, so listen, Machiavellianism is there, emotional manipulation is there. I, I pay all sorts of things. Like what these people try to do is what Mark Passio is doing here. He's trying to humanize himself, all the while he's abusing people. Okay, so when Mark Passio does this, he tried to humanize himself. I will play it in a little bit to to make it more pinpointed. People, they don't understand that abusing, taking abuse from a narcissist psychopath, it's called trauma bonding. What these people do is when they try to humanize themselves after abusing and all stuff, there's something called trauma bonding. That's not that this person is very good, mean well for the society. No, and I will show you exactly where he's wrong and what is going on. Let's play.
So everybody goes, "Oh, go listen to the old stuff." That means you don't understand my work. They perpetrated a fucking hoax and they shut the entire world down, destroyed people's lives. That's why people say, I hear it all the time, all over social media, all over the internet. You don't want to listen to his later stuff. He's yelling at people.
So this is what he's saying. This is what he's getting from people's feedback that this person is gone insane, and people are saying that this person is insane. So this is what is he making out of all these things? Like even a whole internet is saying that you have gone insane, and this is what he's rationalizing it how like this. Listen.
He's angry. He's nasty. He's cursing. He's saying mean things.
Yeah, that's what you're doing. I stupid. You don't see this thing. You think this is people saying, or you see this is what you're doing. So look at the delusion of these people. Look how these people they fight against their own poor behavior. And then these people will tell you that you should have a good behavior. Like he's gaslighting people as if something is wrong with people, as if it's not his problem.
That's because look at what happened in the world, folks. You want to stay focused on
So something happened in the world, so you should attack people, you should abuse people. What? You should abuse people's parents? What is this logic? So this thing, if this thing is like right, so people should also abuse you, because things did not happen to just you scumbag. Things happen to everybody. What the fuck? What's this logic? This is called Machiavellianism, by the way. This is called gaslighting. Okay, people should not say things how they are about Mark Passio. Okay, this undermines his authority. This makes Mark Passio, even when he's doing these things, you should not say these things, because this thing makes Mark Passio something bad. Mark Passio does not want to be a bad person. Even when he's doing all sorts of fucked up things, Mark Passio should be on a higher pedestal so that he can abuse you with more force. This is what he's saying to you.
external factors. You don't want to change your own thoughts and behaviors. Look at what just happened. Look at the whole world was shut down as just an example of what the real controllers and rulers of this whole domain can do.
What did Mark Passio do to stop it? I mean, he claims to be expert. And when such things are happening, all his expertise goes. Where does his all his expertise go? Expertise go. Now it becomes people's responsibility. The same people he is abusing. What? Mark Passio is such great, all sorts of things, warrior, whatever the fuck he says, and then things becomes people's responsibility. What?
They just came out in the open and said, we're going to shut the whole damn world down at our discretion. And they did it like that. They
Hmm?
perpetrated a fucking hoax and they shut the entire world down, destroyed people's lives, destroyed people's business, created the largest wealth transfer to the wealthiest people in the world from the poorest people in the world. And people stayed there and took it up the rear end.
What? He's still abusing people.
And I'm supposed to just be like, oh, well, people did.
So he did not do anything to stop that, and now he's playing tough. What does he mean by all this garbage? Like, just listen, it gets more ridiculous.
Want to hear it. They didn't want to change. No, I'm going to get the velvet glove came off and the iron gauntlet went on. And I'm going to punch down on people because
So this comeback is saying that people got abused, people went through all sorts of things, and now this comeback is going to abuse people. That's not narcissism at all. Okay, still people are wrong. This comeback, who gave this, who the fuck is this person? What does this fucking loser thinks of himself? First of all, the way he runs his mouth online, why don't he run this mouth like he run this mouth? You will always see him running his mouth like this when he is in a safe place like this. Why don't he run his mouth when he's giving the seminar in public? You will see that when he's with public, he pick his words very carefully, and when he's inside this house in his hole, then he degrade everybody. So he's so tough. Why don't he show his toughness when he's among people? So this is another symptom of a cowardly loser. Okay,
once again, I've made these changes to myself. I'm not the issue or problem.
what changes did he make? He did not like. What did he do special? What does he mean even? What changes? Like all the things that happened during COVID and all this stuff. What, it happened to him also, around him also. I don't see him doing anything special. I see him running his mouth. Anybody seen that this person did something outlandish, out of this world, that was so like great that Mark Passio dared to resist or something? Tell me, if I'm missing something. Tell me, what did he do? He just run his mouth. That's a whole different thing. People take, like, people go through all these things and they still try to find a balance somehow. Being unhinged when things have passed, like all these things happened till 2022. Okay, this 2026. Now he's running his mouth. And what did he do? Anybody can say anything. What did he do? Did he do anything special? Why is he glorifying himself? Is he an opportunist? That's what he is doing right now. What did he do?
So everybody goes, "Oh, go listen to the old stuff." That means you don't understand my work at all. Zero. Not one iota. Not one.
Who's saying? Who's saying what? I mean, do some people even say these things, or he just make these things up? Mark Passio thinks that he's the only person in the world that is left, and everybody is talking about him. What? People have a lot of things. There are better speakers, that there are better people even in conspiracy circles right now. Okay, who speaks better than him? And he's still lost in this hubris somehow.
Tiny little itsy bitsy bit. You don't understand my work.
People don't need to understand any of your garbage. You need to understand that people have a life. You don't.
And it's sad. Because at this point in the game, when I was presenting, I was wearing a mask. I wasn't who I really am. I wasn't letting my real personality show through. I'm presenting external stuff so that people gravitate to my work.
Attention seeking. See? So he started from attention seeking. And now, right now, what he's doing, he will tell you after 50 years. And that, no, no, that was not my best work. I was still attention seeking. Okay. So can you trust these such people? Can you trust such people even one bit? People who spatially bash you night and day, abuse you. So, like, him confessing this thing right now makes, like, he did not do all those things. He did not fool people. He did not do these things for attention seeking. What? So it's like a thief or a murderer or somebody who murdered somebody, let's say. And now he's saying that, yeah, I did that. What? It's still you. So this person cannot make connection like that. He thinks that that's somebody else. I don't know. Like, what is he even trying to say? Is he trying to say that he was a loser? These are his words, came out from his mouth, right?
And that's kind of disingenuous, quite frankly. And
Quite frankly. What? So what does he mean by this?
I dropped that.
Drop that. How? Prove it? Should we take your garbage words for everything? Even when you're doing such things, should we still keep you on a pedestal? Mark Passio, he's such a great person. See, this is how he manipulate people emotionally and get his things validated subtly. He's saying that he was not authentic, was doing things for attention seeking, and now he's glorifying himself still. What? And when these people they criticize somebody else, they they nitpick every single thing to discredit others, to smear others. So who gave these people this free pass for doing all sorts of things at the same time bashing other people? These comebacks call other people Satanists. People who themselves were Satanists have all the history of Satanism, tells you in details that how fucked up these people were. These people call you Satanists who never were Satanist. And they were Satanist, they say that that's all good. They themselves tell, like, they declare that that's all good. And people who are not Satanist, nothing, these comebacks who are all sorts of twisted, who themselves expose themselves, they say that there's something wrong with this person. Can you imagine the insanity of this thing?
Years into my work because I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not trying to get people to like
So
me.
who gave these comebacks free pass to do all sorts of fucked up things and then blame people who never did such things? What is this madness? Why are people dealing with this madness? What more evidence do people need that these people are scumbags? These people are destroying people. And then they are saying that they are destroying people. And then they themselves is claiming that they are good people. What the fuck?
I need to tell them harsh, real truths that they're
He need to tell people harsh, real truth now. What harsh, real truth? Whose truth? And what happens after that? The problem is Mark Passio is a deluded loser. He lives in his delusions. And he has lived a very twisted life. When you are twisted in all sorts of ways, you have no basis for anything. This is what he's saying. He is the creator of his own hardship, and then he's taking it out on people. That's what he's doing everywhere.
going to act upon. That they're going to eventually hear, it's eventually going to stick, and then they're actually going to take action on it.
What action? This is not delusion. This person is doing all sorts of fucked up things. He's saying that he did all sorts of fucked up things, and now somehow he has the authority over people. What?
So people love the old stuff, they hate the new stuff.
Nobody loves old stuff or new stuff, anything. Okay.
You want to know why? Because the new stuff is telling them they must truly change from an internal perspective.
Why do people need to change? What? Change for what? There are certain crazy lunatics in the world who are doing all sorts of weird things to people. The people need to change. People need to destroy all the goodness they have in their heart, all the things that are functioning with them. So people need to change. What? It's like for example, there's a murderer or some sort of criminal, and he has done some damage to you. So now you become like them. What? This person is radicalized. He has a reason for all that stuff. Okay, this person has a past, weird past. He has done all sorts of weird things, and there are people, good people. I don't think this person ever came across any good people, or he recognized even he has any mechanism that there are good people in the world. I don't think these people can even comprehend what good people is. No, I don't think they have that connection. What they want people to be crazy like these people. That's what they're telling you with their language. Something crazy happened. See, if we talk about all these things, COVID and all the crap, even worse things happened ever since COVID and all stuff. Done by, perpetuated by your Donald Trump. Okay, you don't know just yet. You don't know just yet what these people have also done to you. What these conspiracy theorists are doing to you. I'm not saying that whatever the hell they did in COVID is a thing to fight for or defend. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that people got abused, and what the hell is this person doing? Abusing more? And he's saying that's the solution? What? Bad things happened, and there's a connection of these people still in that thing. The thing is, why would somebody go so crazy to bring literal plagues on people? Why? Because those psychopaths, they're also scared, and the responsibility, the problem is conspiracy theorists. The thing is, those people are psychopathic and narcissistic, and these people are psychopathic and narcissistic, and they both are fighting. The ego fights. Okay, you have to understand, you have to recognize this thing. And now these psychopaths, they pull they don't have any restraint on them. Those psychopaths have no restraint on them, and all these psychopaths are fighting. They're bringing all sorts of madness on common regular people, be it anarchists or any people in power, government, this and that, be it left or right, be it mobsters and normal people or government or anything. This is what these people have made the environment, the reality of everybody. That's why everybody is suffering. And then people are picking sides. This person is good, this person is bad, instead of understanding that what is wrong. And this is my work, to explain you people that what is actually going on. The moment you pick any sides, you lose your side. And I'm telling people to be on your side. Be good people. Still, because that's the solution. See, if there existed some Epstein or this and that, if you look at the life process of these psychopaths, you will see that these people lost their way from goodness, from life. There's something called maternal love in the West, how they say. We have a term for this, karuna or matri, mamta. And it's not like some female love, okay? Let me explain you this thing. What is the problem of, what's the cause of all these things, okay? And this is a thing that can be verified through psychology, by the way. So what is wrong with a narcissist, a psychopath? They lack this term called karuna, this maternal love. And it's since I said that it's maternal love, it's not about female or male or anything. But for example, if a father who's a narcissistic, okay, who pulls his belt and beats his son, okay, that usually happens in these redneck circles, by the way. That person does not have any mamta, any karuna, and that person will fail himself and will fail his children. Okay, and then take example of a healthy person, a father who has children and who put effort in taking care of his children, who feed them. Like, children make mistakes, okay, and you have to be wise enough to understand that the child has made mistake, or teenager, adult, this and that, okay, and to be able to explain that what mistake he has made respectfully, with a healthy self-esteem, and to show that this is how you solve this, and that's called healthy living, healthy life. That is through manta, that's through this maternal love. I don't know, that's the terminology in the West. This, that is through karuna, that is through considering another human as human. And these psychopaths, they say that, who the people who show this thing, these psychopaths, these narcissists, they lack this thing. And whoever shows this thing to for other people, okay, and they have this weird agape garbage, okay, that they have stolen, by the way, from Christianity. Agape, anything that is not in effective, That's not in your behavior, that is not in your practice. Like he says, objective garbage. That's the problem. If things are not in your behavior, they're useless, no matter how much you know about those things. And they lack all such behavior. In fact, they think that that behavior is bad, according to these psychopaths. And they're making you, they are radicalizing you.
And God forbid we can't have that. So most people absolutely hate, detest, and despise my latest work.
So you, if you really need to change things, I've gone through all these things into extensive depths. You have to, if you want something good in a society, you want to see something good in society, you need to be a good person. There's no other way. There's no other way. Nobody else is going to be a good person. And people, they copy each other. If you want less Epstein in this world, you need to be less like Epstein. You need to be, if you want less crime in the society, you need to be less criminal, because you are the society. All right? And no radicalism, nothing, none of these ego wars can fix it. Okay, there will be such Epstein and this and that, and people need to handle these things properly. Okay, there's no doubt. People cannot let these things happen, but like, who let these people? Like, how these people were able to fool so many people, to let the children be on such island and this and that? Where is your personal responsibility? There's something wrong with people also. It's not a reflection of just one person. It's also a reflection of what people are doing. Scapegoating is fine. Like when you're scapegoating some monster, that's fine. According to me, it's not fine, but still, this is how society deals with these things. So it's fine, okay. But what is leading to those things? You should also need to consider that. And since you are not going to like handle those things properly, as long as you're not going to handle those things, there will be new Epstein, P Diddy, this and that, all sorts of things. You know, why America has all sorts of crazy things going on? Only America. American thinks that they are the best country, and if you see any of internet stuff, serial killers, all sorts of crazy things are there in America, and they're public right now, and they still have this audacity to think that they are better people than all other nations. How? How? I mean, America had all sorts of resources, everything else, and they constantly bash other poor people, poor countries, and all stuff. And when other people are looking at America, this is what they're seeing, and nobody seems to bash those things. People talk a lot of shit about Indians, a lot of things, and people from India trying their best to reduce these things. And when you look at America, somehow that does not exist. What? What? Then they say that somebody else done this, when you can clearly see that people were involved in those things. People. They're picking to be like that. So don't these people ever see these things? And I'm not saying that to bash those people either, or to mock or anything. I'm saying to consider that what is causing this thing. Such radicalized behavior,
Which is my most powerful work and my most
such lack of emotions, of this karuna.
important work, quite frankly. Not because it isn't true or important or quality work, because it is all of those things, but because it intensely emphasizes one's own personal responsibility to change their own thoughts and behavior. And
Where is Mark Passio's own personal responsibility? Where is his personal responsibility? Where? Why cannot people see this? And people are saying how things are, and he still has problem with people. And he's still telling people what's wrong with you. When people are saying that something is wrong with you, who give this person? I mean, even after doing all sorts of things, how this person still thinks he's in charge? He's better than other people. How? And how does this person think that everybody else is useless? Even people who have never done half of the things he claims to be doing. Is this person lost? Is this person insane? What's going on with this person?
And highly emphasizes an individual's responsibility to quote unquote put skin in the game and get personally involved in the war for our very freedom. If
What freedom? A person who has freedom behaves like this? If he does not have any freedom, how can he teach other people to be free? I mean, any of this person's garbage, if he's claiming that it's the greatest thing, so it should also have a real life thing, effect on something at least. Since nobody can see this thing, so what is this thing? This is narcissism. This is delusion. This fantasy. Why cannot people see this thing? All these great things that Mark Passio grunt for hours about. Where are these things? Are they in some other world? Where? What? He's saying that he's doing this work for 20 years, 19 years. So where is the, like, show me if you have made any change. All I can hear is him bashing other people that he has failed. He's saying he has put effort for 19 years, and he himself says that all his freedom committee is a joke. So whose failure is that? Then he says that this people's failure. Then later on he says that he has done effort, he has done work for 19 years, and then he says that he was doing it for attention. Then he's saying that he was Satanist. So how the fuck all his fuck ups become somebody else's responsibility? I mean, either you have done, put some effort, something, it was useful, it was so great, and when you ask him for the report card, he has failed everywhere. So what is this thing? This lack of touch with reality. This is what it is actually.
places the burden, the onus, it places all the responsibility upon the individual, upon the self. And that's where most people say, this guy's crazy. I'm checking out. How many people on social media go, I haven't heard a word Passio said since like the demystifying the occult seminar or since the natural law seminar, and then I'm
Yeah, they're saying the right thing. All people can see is him grunting for hours. All these long-winded speech where he's like, what he actually does is through uh, his so-called lectures and all the stuff that people don't catch it. He retaliate with people. He fight his fights, ego fights, in those videos by making other person who challenge his narcissism, his childishness. He fight with them through these videos, through this speech. He tried to dehumanize such people. Okay, he thinks people are stupid.
done with the rest of his work. Well, you know what? That's called a dunce.
People who catch his garbage, they are dunce. Okay, people who are saying things how they are, who are noticing his this behavior, Mark Passio labels them as dunce because he's exposed. Now he has to dehumanize the person. He has to humiliate the person. People are dunce now, right? Since people can say, like, people who can see his garbage and who can see clearly that there's no substance in his work anymore. So they are dunce now. Or you are dunce.
That's called a moron.
People are moron.
That's called someone who's not ready to show up and be present and be in learning mode and truly listen.
What is this nonsense? He tells himself. What does this person first of all thinks of himself? When you ask this person that what is your qualification, there's nothing there. When you ask this person to show your work, there's nothing there. Stolen stuff, plagiarized stuff. When you go yourself into his work, all you see is abuse. So is this person living in a alternative reality or what? Where all the things that he's saying, they exist in some alternative reality. At least people should see something. Where is that? Like he's attacking people and abusing people. Everybody can see this. And what's beside that? If he's talking about he has done some work, people can clearly see that he has plagiarized others work. So what is this person even like? What is going on?
They think they know enough. And you know the answer is they don't know enough. They
Yeah, they know more than you, actually.
haven't engaged in the trivium. Everybody thinks
Why do people need to follow just one thing? Is this person insane or what? See, when you look into all these, I mean, this person says trivium, quadrivium, and addendum, and all that stuff he talks about. This is called liberal arts. Liberal arts. These used to be older methods of academia, and then the same person, he attacks anything that is structured. What does this person even mean? Trivium and this and that. And let me tell you, beside this, people learn in all sorts of ways naturally. You don't have to go through just one pattern. Okay. Yeah, okay, if you are on a scholarly level, there are tricks, techniques, stuff. There are better methods, more optimized, and everything else. And they are good for such things. Okay. But not everybody need to engage with all these things first. Not everybody. People who choose to do this with their own, uh, like, I don't want to do this. It does not make me any ignorant because I have other methods to acquire the same knowledge. Okay, same stuff to do same thing. We don't have to follow same methods. Things can you can learn things in many ways by using some strategies, techniques, or without using some strategy and techniques. Sometimes these are optimized, sometimes they are sub optimized, sometimes they are not even optimized, and still people can learn more than by using these methods also. Learning has different ways. The only way that is wrong with learning is when you become deluded, when you become destructive, when you become counterintuitive. You're doing work and then you're undoing it. Okay, these are the methods that are wrong. Otherwise everything else is accepted. So what is wrong with this person?
they're correct. And the difference is I've actually done the work to make sure that I'm correct. There's a method of that we're going to talk about. You can make sure whether you're correct or
So if you are correct, why cannot people see the correctness in your behavior? Anybody can say that they are correct or not correct themselves. If you claim to have done so much work, why has your behavior not changed? If a person on a street, the biggest test for all these things is people, no voice people who have no connection with anybody's previous work. When they come across such people, they should be seeing at least something in such people. They're not. Laymen are not seeing anything in such people. So they are not liking it. They are seeing all this abuse, all this hatred, and everything else, and they're saying things how they are. And Mark Passio does not like it. He called people dunce because he is self-absorbed. He is solipsistic. He thinks that since he has done something, let's say, which is partially wrong also, people should automatically give this person some respect, should consider this person as some great knower, teacher, and they should come to him and they should submit themselves to him. And then he will do this theater play in his shared fantasy. He will teach them, people will learn, he will be happy, and he will say that, see, I'm a good person, I'm a good man. That's what he's saying. But when we live in a real world, see, that can happen in two ways also. That can also happen. Nothing wrong in that. But he is like, this thing can happen in closed settings where he declares himself as a cult leader and he has some following, and then he can live in this fantasy there. Okay, in real world, it's like, in order to live like that, you have to be a cult like setting, be in a cult like setting. Otherwise, in real world, things are how they are. Take it or leave it. This person don't understand this thing.
Not. If you gather enough data, which most people haven't. That's why most people talk out of their ass. They don't know what they're talking about because they haven't gathered enough grammar. They haven't gathered the data that's required. They don't.
Mark Passio, he's coming across such concepts now where people, when they were in their high school, done these things. He's still projecting toward me, by the way. He has this permanent internal object about me in his head where he's trying to defeat me. It's his ego that won't let him understand that you are wrong. People have their own methods beside your garbage, your fantasy. People are living in a real world, free world, and they can use whatever at their discretion to be more wise than you. And he is not able to digest that, and he want, because he has this. When I was dealing with these people, they created a. There's a thing with narcissists and psychopaths. They create a snapshot about you. So what happened is, when I was dealing with these people, this psychopath, Satykas Booza, I figured it out the very first day that this person has something wrong. He had a tree, and I took a chance to maybe this person will explain this thing because he was pretending. Then I had interaction with him, and he convinced me. But I did not know that he was playing all sorts of games. So in those games, what they do is they do a cold scan of people they're interacting with in the initial scan, and this is called snapshot, cold empathy scan. And throughout their existence, they think that that person is that scan that they did. Okay, they don't have a connection with a living human being, living, growing, all sorts of things, and this thing hurts them even. So what these people are trying to do is they're trying to reestablish that screenshot that they took about me with their own psychopathy. And I knew that I was dealing with a psychopath, so I was reserved. I did not show these people all the elements of my personality. Now this person is confused, discombobulated, that how this person, whom I cold scanned first, whom I thought was a retard or stupid fool, how this person is talking better than me, how this person knows better than me, how this person has more methods, and now he want to reestablish himself. In his madness, when he repeat the same things, repetition compels him. He What narcissists do is, it's a whole crazy thing. They condition you. Okay, they prime you. They repeat repetition with their repetition compulsion to see a specific outcome that is usually from a fantasy theater play. To people, unwitting people who don't know what narcissism psychopathy is, they get conditioned. They submit to such people at some certain point, and these people have done this thing multiple times to multiple people. So they have this confidence at some point they will be able to brainwash me or something. They will be able to establish themselves as something. They will get away with all the madness they have spilled on me. They will justify this. They will do something. Okay. This is what is going on with these people's psyche. By the way, okay. Mark Passio says that he's knower of all sorts of things. And I made a mistake. I did not tell these narcissist psychopaths how much I actually know. And I thought that that was useless because these people are lost in their hubris. But now has come a time where I should go one to one with their narcissism. Okay. To know that you're wrong. And this is not for me to show my narcissism or something. This is my fight against these psychopaths. Okay. I'm not going to take any abuse from any of these scumbags anymore. Well, I know better. I have much more better background than these scumbags. These random street shit eaters. I'm not going to let these people abuse me. I don't care. And this person, he still thinks he will defeat me somehow. He's doing something great. But everything that Mark Passio does is for his ego. His ego.
Have the requirements in knowledge. And I do. That's what qualifies me to deliver a seminar like this, quite frankly. That I am qualified in knowledge regarding.
Others are also. You're not special. You're not unique. Others know more than you in better structures and everything else. People actually have verifiable background. You don't. You have, trust me, bro.
This material. And again, this is still just introductory and caveats. And it has to be said, and it has to be said intensely like this.
No. If you want people to understand, if you want to, like, this thing, narcissism is a very twisted thing. Very twisted, very twisted. Where a person who never grew up, okay, with narcissists like Mark Passio and Satykas Bose specifically, they never grew up. And they're trying to individuate, okay? They're trying to present themselves as grown-ups. And when they do this thing, when they try to present themselves as grown-up, they fake it, okay? And they infantilize others. Like they want to present themselves as individuated grown-ups, so they have to infantilize others. All right. So, and they get stuck in this repetition compulsion. If they were not into stuck into this repetition compulsion, they would not be narcissists. And if they are narcissists, they are caught up in this repetition compulsion. So what they try to do is they try to reestablish that they're better, they're superior than others. They're all knowing, omnipotent, everything else, to establish that there's something when they're nothing. Actually, they have hollow core. They don't have a personality. Okay. Okay. They don't have a beginning.
You don't like it? I don't care. Because this is part of the problem with reception of my work.
This is the reception of his work. And I wonder why. So, when you have like there's a thing in if you are educated a little bit even, there's a thing called communication. So there are distortion in communication. uh, when you communicate your idea something, there can be distortion. Like, since you're communicating, it does not mean it will 100% be received by the people. There's communication. There are two partners in communication, one who is communicating, other who is receiving. So when Mark Passio gives his message to others, he inject distortions in his own speech, and then he cries that people are not receiving it because he does not identify that the things that he has based his persona around, that I give tough love, I give harsh truth, this and that, and he thinks that this is the problem of people. He do not identify this thing because he's lacking actual understanding on these things, that these are the distortions, these are the repulsive factors. Like, for example, if there's a person who really try, that, yeah, today I will really try to understand what Mark Passio is saying, and I will do it diligently. After listening to his brain numbing, neuron destroying speech for 10 minutes, let's say, they say that I cannot do this because he's taking all the hatred, abuse, everything out on people. He's giving all his distorted version of existence to other people. And people who are not insane, they identify this distortion. I don't have to deal with all this garbage. You have your issues, I have my issues. I don't want to deal with your issues. He makes all his issues, he's living for a theater play, for something, this personality, that Mark Passio the Great. He's attributing, he's making everything that he lives about other people. And he thinks that he's being honest about this.
And people have to work on their own reception, the quality of their reception. There's no problem with the transmitter, folks. There's
Let me show you the problem with transmitter. Maybe he will realize today.
Conjuring a plant. That's exactly what you ain't just the way you are. That's the encouragement the team
And this person says he is mature, and other people are childish. And listen to him.
humanity has gotten their whole miserable fucking gym sock, shit-filled gym sock life. Okay?
Transmission is crystal clear. He's not going on tangents and everything else. He's not giving people unnecessary things that people don't even need. No, this is all fine. There's something wrong with the receivers. Transmission is crystal clear, right?
That's what you guys are. You're a shit-filled gym. You're a shit-filled, dirty, sweaty gym sock.
This is crystal clear, right? Transmission received and closed. Nobody want to go through this thing. Second-hand embarrassment, hatred. There's nothing to be learned there. If people want to be so like, see, people want, why people learn something? Because people go for value. If people are adding some value from other people's work, then they listen to them. If something makes something better in their life, people listen. People do these things every single day in their household, with their sibling, with their neighbors, with their spouses, even their parents and everything else. People are tired of this thing, and he thinks that since he can show this poor behavior, people will be attracted. No, people are tired of their own poor behavior first of all, and they're trying to fix themselves. And then they come across such people who show such behavior, and they still are clueless. Like, why people are not giving them any respect? This is why. because you don't deserve any respect, because this is what you are. Let me keep it open.
That's what you guys are. And I don't know. I have to come up with these colorful, flowery, analogies to even explain it, because I don't even have the words to describe how fucking miserable most of the people in this movement are. What miserable scumbags you guys.
People are miserable, or he is miserable right now.
Problems with the radio receiving the transmission. Put that concept in your mind, in your mental pipe, and smoke it. Okay? You got to attenuate and attune.
This is called narcissism, by the way. What he's doing, this is called narcissism. He's on this high horse. He thinks that he's all good, all knowing, all better. Try to understand the psychology of this person when I'm trying to explain you. In his grandiosity, he's saying that he's all better, all good. He's totally disconnected from the reality that he's narcissist. This is narcissism that is repulsive. Even if somebody has studied something, like, for example, there's a doctor, a PhD, and I go to PhD and ask this PhD person that I have this issue, and can you help me with this? And he's tried to glorify himself. I'm a great person, know this and I know that, and all. He started to spew his stories, his struggle, and all stuff that has no connection and not solving the problem of me, like, let's say. So I will say that this person is insane. He's wasting my time, because this is what is that person doing, and this is what Mark Passio does. He thinks that he's such a superior, such great person, that people should go through all abuse, everything else, and they actually, this is what these people also test. How much abuse can a person take? How much abuse a person can take? The more abuse a person can take, the more powerful these people feel about themselves. Okay?
Receiver in order to receive the message coming from the big megawatt transmitter.
Megawatt transmitter is Mark Passio, and you are receiver. Okay, radio.
1,000 megawatt. Okay? So if people say they don't like the new Passio, you know that they're a dunce and that they don't know what they're talking.
They're dunce. People are dunce, and they don't give Mark Passio enough credit so that he can glorify himself. No, everything is wrong with people.
Guys are. It's pathetic. I don't want to be around any of you because you're that pathetic.
So if you don't want to be around people, so what? I mean, what? Do you want people or you don't want people? Okay, in this video, he's talking about certain people. So those people are actually pathetic, by the way. But why should people waste their 2 hour and 59 minutes, people who are not connected with this, to listen to this grunt? And he's saying that transmission is crystal clear, where he's talking about Dunning-Kruger, and he's also like squaring up his, how you say this, what's the street term for that, his personal beefs with others. Like, he's saying that this is a lively weekly show, this and that, and there's Dunning-Kruger and all that stuff, and what he's doing is he's taking his frustration out on people. Okay, I know exactly the reference of this thing, actual reference of this thing, what Mark Passio is actually doing, not what other people are perceiving, that maybe he's talking about some Dunning-Kruger, maybe some live weekly show is going on. No. Okay.
About. They don't even know what the new material is, what it represents, how important and powerful it is, because they want soft nonsense.
soft nonsense. People who have this karuna that actually functions, that actually relates with other people's stuff, he says that is soft nonsense. Only a narcissist will perceive such things as soft nonsense. Okay? Only a narcissist who has no connection with anybody, who keeps his comments locked, who abuse and harass and everything night and day to people, and thinks he's so smart and cunning that people will never figure it out, and then he hide in a hole, and then he says that he's being abused, he's being targeted. People are targeting him after he has thoroughly abused people, scammed people, his group members. Then when people start to expose these comebacks, they say that, oh, see, we are being targeted, we are being attacked. I wonder why. I wonder why. Why? They don't tell people the whole thing. They tell twisted versions of other people's also. When these people are running their scam, they're abusing people, attacking people, they're harassing people, they never tell those things. They say that we did social experiment on people. They offend people. They cross all the boundaries. They run all over people's boundaries. They abuse. They do all those things thoroughly first. And after that, when people are exposing them, they say that, oh, see, people are attacking us. And people are not attacking us, still, them. People are still telling their side of abuse. See, people are targeting me. People are stupid. They will tell their own audience that what's going on. Still lying, by the way. Still not telling all the other side of other person. How much these people lie. This pathological lying is enough for people to piss off. Like, not go through any of this thing. Mark Passio is so great, so wise, so intelligent. Everybody else is stupid. People who have academic background, they are stupid. Okay? People who have like these people, what these people say is, when I was dealing with these people, I did not know what type of people I was dealing. They attacked me when I said that I follow Buddhism. They attacked me that when I said that Buddhists are actually atheistic, they don't believe in God. Okay, they attacked religion, they attacked atheism. Then I said that I'm an educated person. They attacked that also. Not that anything wrong with those things. The thing is, these people, they're envious, they're jealous, they are lacking all these things. That's why they fight those things, and they want to glorify themselves. They want to present themselves as knower of something. They're better than all sorts of things. They're better than all academic backgrounds, everybody else. They're better than government, they're better than religion, they're better than educated people, they're better than professionals, they're better than everybody else. Okay? And now they want to be glorified. Mark Passio is saying he's presenting the shadow work and he's glorifying himself. Mark Passio is expert, this and that, all sorts of things.
Not really in the game for freedom. They have no skin in the game. And most of all, they want to stay rigidly attached to their own ego bullshit.
People are attached to the ego bullshit. People. Not Mark Passio, people. Mark Passio has no ego. He's selfless. Right? Right? Because in his head, all that he's doing for people. Is he? Is he? He got from people actual money. What did he give to people? Abuse? Hate? Actual, if we get materialistic a little bit, and I'm not saying that he should not do this, I'm just saying that what is going on, he can like, it's none of my concern, by the way, how he makes his money. I'm just explaining this thing. He wanted people to give him money in a certain way, otherwise he gets mad at people. People still gave him money, people still donated him stuff. What did people get in return for giving him money? Abuse, attack. right? And this person is totally, completely blinded by these things. You don't see these things even, because in his narrative, people who are giving him money, they're giving him money incorrectly. He remembers that. Not that people are giving him money, the hard earned money. No, that's his divine right. Okay, all right. And it's okay to take donations and all the things. I'm not for or against that. I have no take in that. But since this person is saying that he is doing everything, so I want to open this person's eyes.
And they don't want to really change from an internal perspective. So approach this material like an adult or go away. Quite frankly.
So he cried about that how people are not listening to his stuff. So this is not a strategy. It's not Machiavellianism. First say that nobody is listening to them, and convincing people. Now people are here. Go away. What is this cold and hot? Another narcissistic stuff. Adult, by the way. Let me show you the adult here. Adult. We have an adult here. Let's see how adult Mark Passio is.
Gym sock, shit-filled gym sock life. Okay? That's what you guys are. You're a shit-filled gym. You're a shit-filled, dirty, sweaty gym sock.
That's how adults behave, right? This is a ideal behavior of an adult. That's how they handle their stuff, right? Adults, by having this attitude.
That's what you guys are. And I don't know. I have to come up with these colorful, flowery, analogies to even explain it, because I don't even have the words to describe how guys are. I don't want to be around any of you telling me you're off the air because you eat plants. This is
So this any of this behavior adult? This is adult behavior. He's saying that others are childish. Now, how do you deal with such people? How do you deal with such people? Everything is right in front of you. It is logged in his own videos, and he's attributing his, like, all his defects. Like Mark Passio says that people are Satanist. What? Like everything about you is satanic. You are still teaching people occult, and people are Satanist. So what these people do is they're ashamed of what they are. Right? They are childish, immature, so they attribute what they are to others. It's called scapegoating. It's called projection. You can clearly see these things right in front of your face. Right? And what are these people preaching you in these slideshows? The thing that this person thinks that these slideshows is the real life. When in real life, he's lacking everything. So what he does is he compensate for what he's lacking through these things.
Frankly. And again, I'm saying this up front. These are my caveats. These are my warnings. So I'm telling people right up front, this may not be for you. This may not be for you. And you need to know that going in. And then maybe you'll come back to it when you're ready. This presentation, this seminar today, is for psychologically mature adults who are ready.
Psychologically mature adults.
what you sound like. You're drooling out of the side of your mouth, and that's what you sound like. You're not on the air because you eat plants. That's exactly what.
This is how a psychologically mature person behaves. Even let's say there are people who are drooling from the side of the mouth. This is how a mature person behaves. What?
what you fucking sound like, you fucking mud creatures.
See, people are mud creatures. Anybody who, even in the slightest, criticize this person, he gets so mad. That's another symptom of a narcissist, by the way. They get so crazy over slights. I mean, he is so full of his hatred and narcissism, so much full of his narcissism. Even the slightest things that people say, he wastes so much time on that. He fantasizes how he's going to insult those people. That's where these things are coming from.
And the you guys are so degraded. You're so degraded as beings that you don't even know enough to be embarrassed for yourself when the person you just
People need to be embarrassed because this is what his child is defense against people who question this person. It's called uh, fantasy defense or childish infantile defense against people who criticize such people. Okay,
said you're off the air because you're sick, because you
he want people to be humiliated, to feel the shame, all sorts of things. See why people attacked when he was down, by the way. I know people who, I think he's talking about the same people. I'm not sure because a lot of people, they give him tough, this hard time. What happens is Mark Passio in general, he's in contempt of everybody. He's abusing everybody. He's lying. He's doing all sorts of things. And people who is he doing these things, they are also narcissistic. So they wait. They wait when he's down. Okay. And they do their worst when he's down. Because this is exactly what Mark Passio is doing to others. So this is what you get for being a narcissist. And now he's crying. He still thinks that it is people's responsibility. That's why you don't talk shit about people like this. Okay? You can teach people, nobody is stopping you. You can explain to people, nobody's stopping you. But you have to give people some respect. Some karuna should be there. Some maitri should be there. Without karuna, without maitri, everything is just information. And we have information overload. People only understand things when you are a little bit humble. Even when you know things, especially when you know things. All right, genius.
haven't eaten meat and
ready and able to hear the truth regarding how they must change in order for the human condition to change and improve for the better.
People need to change. people, people need to change. Okay, Mark Passio will not change. Mark Passio is all good.
The human condition changes by individuals changing themselves, and most people aren't ready for that work. That's sad, but that's true. So this seminar is not for those who appear to be adults in a bodily capacity, physically appear to be adults, but really they're not adults up here. They still have the
Yeah, they're like this.
you only eat physical, you're too satanic
They're like this.
right there. You know? You're being mean to people. Dumb people who continue to stay dumb don't deserve niceness, ladies and gentlemen. That's the
Mark Passio deserves niceness even after this behavior. This is what he's trying to convince people here. There's something wrong with people. Not Passio.
only real divide in humanity.
Mark Passio can never be wrong because he is great Mark Passio. Even when he's wrong, clearly, right in your faces, he's not wrong. It's people who are wrong. Okay, it's somebody else who's wrong. Even when he instigate everything, and he abuse and all stuff, and he get disconnected from the reality. When people react to his abuse, people are wrong, because Mark Passio is not wrong. Passio is never wrong. Passio has put some work for this many years that he failed, by the way. He cannot back anything. But no, Mark Passio is good person. He's a good being, good human. There's something wrong with people. It's them who are wrong. They are the poor receivers. They are the poor receivers. This all crystal clear. Yeah, actually, he is crystal clear that he's a narcissist. This is what people receiving. It's him who has some distortion in receiving. Okay, there's something called metacognition. Okay, this cognition where you study uh, things, like you educate yourself and all stuff. Okay, what this person is lacking is his own metacognition. uh, he has no connection about what he is. He has some distortion in reality testing. When he tests himself, he does not consider these poor behaviors, because he's more fixated toward how great he is. That's narcissism. That's malignant self-love.
Psychological mentation of a little child putting their hands over their ears and saying, I don't want to hear this. And that's not a good person.
People who don't want to listen this, they're child. Who don't want to go through this abuse, they're childish. This thing
is dumb versus truly holistically intelligent. Because the dumb people will either embody this Dunning-Kruger effect and or continue to be statists, people who believe in authority.
People are sadists. I mean, it blows my mind when Mark Passio behaves in all sorts of sadism, and he says that people are sadists. What you just witnessed here, this is called sadism. By the way,
People.
this is sadism.
I mean, I think I got the voice perfect right there. You know, you're being mean to people.
This is what sadism is. But no, this thing is not happening. None of this thing is going on, right? Because Mark Passio is solipsist. There's always everybody's fault. Mark Passio is all great because he done some shadow work 25 years ago. Okay.
That's someone who thinks that they're going to think and reason with their emotions instead of actually think and reason with their brain and mind.
This is reasoning with the emotions.
Dumb people who continue to stay dumb don't deserve niceness, ladies and gentlemen. That's the only real divide in humanity.
Yeah, that's why nobody likes you anymore, Passio. Teacher, people are actually learning from you.
So if this image describes who you are internally from your internal emotional state, time to go.
Wow.
And you'll hear no other presenter say things like that to their potential viewing audience.
Wow.
Is dumb versus truly holistically intelligent.
Holistically intelligent. Or self-righteous.
Anywhere. And that's because they're just trying to reel people in for clicks and likes and popularity and better ratings. And I could give a shit. Couldn't give any less of a shit about any of those things, quite frankly.
He did a shit about this thing. Now he does not give a shit about him. He himself told in his video, in his speech, that that's what he was doing. Now this has become somebody else. Somebody else is doing it for hits and likes. Mark Passio, he never does this.
I'm here to present harsh truth.
Now he's all holy and holistic.
And to help improve the human condition for the better, not placate someone's delicate bullshit ego. Okay?
What? I mean, This thing blows my mind when Mark Passio says that people have ego. What?
Okay? So that's the difference between a real OG and a real
OG. Real OG who stole from everywhere. Okay. How these people are OG, they have stolen a lot of things from other people and they bashed those people after stealing stuff from them. Right? Because they had an opinion about things. Now they have made those things about themselves. This is what your OGs are, by the way.
person delivering material like this who's coming at it from a very boots on the ground perspective. And
Boots on the ground.
Because the dumb people will either embody this Dunning-Kruger effect and or continue to be
He's all over the place, all airy and boots on the ground. Boots on the ground.
and somebody who's just would do anything for clicks and likes and attention.
So what these people do is they show their poorest behavior, and when people catch them in their poorest behavior, they gaslight people by saying that no, this is not us. No, no, not me. I was all these things. I was Satanist. I was all sorts of crazy person. I did all sorts of things. But no, I'm not that. That's these people. That's these other people. Not me. Because I declared this thing. I'm still doing these things, but I'm not. Trust me. People can see these things, but no, it's not me. It's somebody else. That person is Satanist. That person is all sorts of doing it for attention and all stuff. Not me. I'm good Mark Passio. Okay? When you can see all these things happening side by side.
One of the greatest sayings ever: if you are not willing to learn, no one can help you. But if you are determined to learn, no one can stop you. This is my
What is stopping this person so far? Criticism? Actual criticism? Things that he shows in broad daylight, people are saying he get mad over criticism. That's what's stopping him.
one of my personal approaches to life in general. And truer words may have never been spoken. If
Nothing has ever done before Mark Passio. It's Mark Passio who does everything so greatly.
you are here and you've showed up determined to learn this material, you are unstoppable. But if you're not really willing to hear what's going to be said today, there is no help for you, certainly not from me.
Then you are on your own. There's no help for you. Okay? And everything bad will happen to you. Because Mark Passio is the arbiter of goodness. Okay? He's the epitome of morality and ethics. Alright?
Your discomfort does not determine what is true.
This is actually narcissism. How do you know that you are telling the truth? Are you so grandiose that you think that you know all the truth? Telling the truth and making someone cry is better than telling a lie and making someone smile. Telling the truth. But whose truth? Truth is relative. And if you're talking about objective truth, objectivity and objective truth, then you are missing the point, first of all. Secondly, if there's an objective truth, like you have understood that objectively, others will understand it objectively. The thing is, truth is not objective, by the way. Knowledge is objective, can be things that can be objective. Then once again, knowing and knowledge is something how things are. Okay, that is knowledge, whether they are objective or not objective, and to distinguish between these two. Knowledge, all knowledge cannot be seen as objective. All right, there can be objective approach toward things, knowledge, but then again, not all approaches makes you wise. Not one approach makes you wise. You have to implement different approaches. That's why you stay open-minded. Okay, that these uh, dogmatic people, they lack in them.
My presentation style is often extremely intense and at times even combative, and you've already heard some of that.
Anyway, people who will still listen to this thing, I don't know. There's something wrong with those people. I've explained to you this thing this much, and you can also laugh at me. No, that's okay. You can be racist toward me. That's fine. But ask yourself, the things that I'm saying, are they right or wrong? If you think I'm wrong and this person is right, you should study what narcissism, psychopathy is first. Because if you think this is right, there's something going on with you as well. Okay, you are either borderline, you're a narcissist, or you're a psychopath, and you are idolizing him. Okay, so you are still on the wrong track. I should stop here. I don't have time for 9 hours garbage. But I wanted to laugh at what he was saying. It was hilarious to me. Yeah, so I should stop here. Thanks so much.